Good evening and welcome to SVG-TV's news for Friday, October 3rd, 2025. I'm Triska Campbell with the details. St. Vincent and the Grenadines was rocked by a magnitude 4.8 earthquake earlier today, according to a report from the UWI Seismic Research Center. The tremor occurred at approximately 10:59 a.m. local time, with an epicenter located latitude 13.44 degrees north and longitude 61.11 degrees west at a shallow depth of 1.42 kilometers. The earthquake was felt 33 kilometers northeast of Kingston. It was also reported 67 kilometers south-southwest of Castries, St. Lucia, and 128 kilometers south of Fort-de-France, Martinique. No damage or injuries have been reported in any of the affected islands at this time. Minister of Agriculture, Sabota Caesar, has announced that St. Vincent and the Grenadines is collaborating with the African nations, the birthplace of marijuana, as part of the ongoing efforts to develop the country's cannabis industry. The announcement came as the second annual Cannabis Festival officially got underway at the Victoria Park yesterday. Minister Caesar noted that SVG boasts a rich variety of cannabis strains attributed to the introduction of the plant by ancestors over multiple generations and historical periods.
To announce that we have already established relations with entities in Ghana, because we are going to work with those involved in pharmacology there so that we can advance on those plants that were brought over in that period. And during the period of indentureship, we had plants brought from India and from China, and plants also came from Europe. So what we have here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we have an excellent platform upon which we can build.
The minister also lamented what he called the hypocrisy of industrialized nations in the global cannabis debate, criticized attempts by some of those countries to set international standards for cannabis use and trade, despite their historical opposition to its legalization. Caesar said that a holistic plan is being developed in SVG to support advanced cannabis research, and that a proposal outlining this initiative has already been submitted to the National Narcotics Control Board. The goal, he said, is to ensure that St. Vincent and the Grenadines can benefit meaningfully from the growing global cannabis industry.
We are going to ensure that all of our work here in this country, that it falls squarely within the four corners of international law, which says that any compound can be used for scientific research and also for medicinal purposes. It means that the young researchers among us in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we are going to ensure that you have a platform to research these compounds. It may sound simple, but it is profound. And it is something that we are going to work with international agencies to broaden the scope so that we will not limit ourselves to having cannabis as the only pillar in the modern medicinal wellness industry.
Prime Minister Dr. Afghan Sals has praised the organizers of the Cannabis Festival for successfully staging the event that has attracted wide participation from traditional cannabis cultivators. Speaking at the festival, Dr. Gonsalves emphasized that since the decriminalization of marijuana in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, many traditional cultivators have been operating within the boundaries of the law, a trend supported by police reports.
And then I gave the instructions to the leadership of the police that the Rastafari brethren and sisters going about their business normally must not be singled out for any harassment whatsoever. If they get themselves involved in serious illegal business, committing serious crimes, well, then they pay the penalty like anybody else. But it was observed that other than offenses touching on concerning the possession and cultivation of marijuana, overwhelmingly, the Rastafarian brothers and sisters were staying within the four walls of the existing law.
The Prime Minister further noted that many of these traditional growers have since registered and are now licensed to cultivate marijuana legally. He highlighted this as a positive step in integrating legacy growers into the formal economy and ensuring their inclusion in the development of a regulated cannabis industry. Today marks day 2 of the 4-day Cannabis 2025 festival, currently underway at the Victoria Park, and Dr. Gerald Thompson, Chief Executive Officer of the SVG Medicinal Cannabis Authority, says he is pleased with the overwhelming public response. Dr. Thompson reported that the festival has attracted close to 70 booths, showcasing various cannabis-related products and services. He added that while attendees have enjoyed the interactive exhibitions, the conference sessions have also been a resounding success.
Big delegations coming from overseas, ministers and others from Anguilla, permanent secretaries from across the region, directors of medicinal cannabis authorities, enthusiasts, business persons. We've had large delegations from almost all the islands in the Caribbean, and they've been satisfied. You know, they've been immersed in an educational forum that is branding the Caribbean, because it's a region in which almost all the islands would have legalized for medicinal cannabis. So that means it's an intensive zone that offers some opportunities. And we have to be careful, as was said by Minister Gonsalves yesterday, we have to be careful that we don't become importers, and we can be quality producers, and quality producers in an organized, regulated way that doesn't allow for abuse of the process.
Looking ahead to the weekend, Dr. Thompson said that Saturday and Sunday will be packed with fun and entertainment for everyone, including those who may not be directly participating in the cannabis industry.
Of course, we have different type of businesses who set up booths, plus the traditional cultivators. I'm encouraging people, it's too late to tell them to come to see the expo. They should have come, and they might wait until next year. But in the meantime, we are going to continue the effort of educating the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines on medicinal herbs in general, not just cannabis, on what else can be beneficial for them, you know, and we think it's going to be a good thing. In a night, we have the big reggae concert, right? Beanie Man, Spragga Benz, would love if you could make it. Everybody, you know, I'm sure this will be aired just before the news, so drop what you're doing. Come down, you know, to Victoria Park, and you are going to experience a spectacular show.
SVG-TV News also spoke with several regional exhibitors who expressed excitement about attending this year's festival. Representatives from Trinidad and Tobago and Antigua and Barbuda shared that they were showcasing innovative ways cannabis can be used in business, including wellness products, food and beverages, and eco-friendly materials.
Been part of the struggle within the last decade, you know, of getting us legalized to this point. And I'm really happy. This is my second year at Cannabis. Last year I was invited as a delegate as well, and it has been a beautiful experience. I see a lot of growth this year, a lot more vendors. Yeah, it's a really wonderful experience to watch this part of the tourism of the cannabis industry grow. The industry is not just about the flower, it's a culture. We have a culture in ganja, and it could be from merchandise, you know, wearing the plant. We love to show that we're herbalists, you know, to earrings. Then we have something for the children. Well, you know, obviously this is a big topic. It's controversial for some people, but for Rastafari, this is part of our life. Our children know about ganja. My youth has known about ganja as he has known about any other herb. From the time he was a youth, he knew it was medicine.
Now, this 420 DNA test talks about how your individual body metabolizes THC and CBD. Now, let's just think about some things. Within the report that you get back in 2 weeks after you've taken the test, it'll tell you how your body, your dosages, depending on how you prefer to consume, whether it's inhalation, it'll give you how you should metabolize it and how you should dose your own significant personalized wellness. It also, which is my favorite part, tells you about the terpenes and the uplifting and relaxing terpenes, which are sort of crucial today in selecting a cultivar.
A total of 11 regional countries are participating in Cannabis 2025, further highlighting the festival's role as a hub for regional collaboration and cannabis innovation. The festival ends on Sunday, October 5th. This is the second year for Cannabis Festival. In other news now, the government's ongoing laptop distribution program has been described as a step forward in national development as hundreds of first-year students at the SVG Community College received new devices today. This was emphasized by Dr. Lafern Brown, lecturer at the college, during the second laptop distribution ceremony held at the Annisville campus. At the handover ceremony, a total of 636 students from the Division of Technical and Vocational Education and the Division of Nursing Education received Windows-equipped Asus laptops as part of the government's initiative to strengthen digital access in education. Dr. Brown underscored the significance of the program, noting that providing students with personal laptops is a critical step in empowering them to succeed. She emphasized that the initiative ensures that no student is left behind in the education revolution.
This laptop initiative empowers our students to thrive in an increasingly digital world and ensures that no student is left behind. This occasion comes at a momentous time in the history of the SVGCC, because for the first time, the DTV has surpassed the Division of Arts, Science and General Studies in new student enrollments, with over 600 new students joining our division. This is not just a number, it is a powerful testament to the growing recognition in our country of the value of technical and vocational education.
She went on to describe the handover as a milestone in the advancement of education in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Looking to the future, Dr. Brown also suggested that the construction of a larger modernized educational facility would be another vital step in the country's ongoing development.
This milestone will not be possible without the hard work and dedication of our lecturers, who continue to work tirelessly and sometimes under challenging conditions to deliver high-quality TVET education. They deserve to be commended and celebrated for their unwavering commitment to our students and to the mission of the division. We humbly ask that you consider the development of a larger, modernized facility for our division, one that can accommodate our growing student population and provide the advanced training environment needed to equip even more young Vincentians with skills for the future.
Meanwhile, Minister of Finance Honorable Camilla Gonsalves has reaffirmed the government's commitment to equipping students with the digital tools necessary to thrive in a modern learning environment and meet the demands of today's workforce.
The evolution of education is what we really hear about now. And this laptop distribution is again part of our vision about modernizing education to make sure that people have the tools that they need to do their job properly. There are a lot of pursuits in the DTV who understand that without the right tools, you can't get the job done. Whether you're in nursing, whether you're doing automotive repair, whether you're doing air conditioning, whatever field you're in, you understand that without the right tools, you can't get the job done. And one of the fundamental tools that you need to get the job done these days, in any pursuit, is a computer that is capable and a Wi-Fi connection that is fast and reliable. Those are two things that you need these days. Can't get around that. And we recognized years ago that something that we have to do in this government as we advance education is to put devices in the hands of young students.
Addressing students at the SVG Community College laptop distribution ceremony, Minister Gonzalez emphasized that the government's support goes beyond the classroom, noting that more opportunities will be made available to students even after graduation.
We are committed to ensuring that every student in St. Vincent and the Grenadines has the tools and has the opportunities to succeed. And where we're going from this, and the Prime Minister, I don't want to steal the PM's thunder, what we're going to assure you, what we're going to assure graduates of our secondary schools and our community colleges is that everybody who graduates from secondary school, from community college, or from university will have an opportunity to go beyond where they are when they graduate. You will have an opportunity for a job. You will have an opportunity for an internship with on-site or set. You will have an opportunity for further technical and vocational education, or you will have an opportunity for a scholarship to go on and do something else beyond where you just graduated from. Every single student will have at least one of those opportunities before them, because we don't want to meet any graduate anywhere in St. Vincent and the Grenadines who says, me are nothing for do.
He urged students not to take the opportunity for granted, stating that such a program is rare and may not be available elsewhere. He encouraged them to make full use of the resources provided to enhance their academic and professional development.
In 14 years, we have donated 65,000 plus devices. A number that is double the number of students in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. There are about 30,000 students in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And in 14 years, we have given out 65,000 devices. Never before, never anywhere else in the world. Don't take this for granted. If you were somewhere else, in fact, if you were anywhere else, what we're doing right now would not be happening.
Friday's ceremony followed an earlier distribution event on Thursday at the Villa campus, where the Prime Minister, Dr. the Honorable Gonzalez, and Minister of Youth, Honorable Dr. Orlando Brewster, also delivered remarks. In total, 1,235 laptops were distributed to first-year students of the SVG Community College across the campuses. The officials described the initiative as a critical investment in the nation's youth, stressing that the access to technology remains central to advancing education and national development. The ceremony was part of the government's broader efforts to equip students with the tools and resources necessary for learning in an increasingly digital and globalized world. The laptop program is expected to continue across various educational institutions in the country. Welcome back. Still on the local scene, the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, the SVGTV, has announced a significant round of appointments, promotions and confirmations across its ranks, as well as within the SVG Coast Guard Service and the SVG Fire Brigade. The promotion exercise was made during the Sunset Parade held at the Parade Square of the Old Montrose compound on Thursday, marking a milestone in the strengthening of national security services. In a statement issued today, the RSVGPF confirmed that Her Excellency Dame Susan Duggan, Governor General of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, acting on the advice of the Police Service Commission and in consultation with Prime Minister, formally appointed Enville Williams as Commissioner of Police. His appointment marks a pivotal leadership change at a time when the force continues to modernize and professionalize its operations. The Police Service Commission also approved a sweeping series of promotions across the force, signifying continued investment in the growth and leadership of the nation's security personnel. The promotional exercise covered personnel across three main services: the SVG-PF, the SVG Coast Guard Service, and the SVG Fire Brigade. Key statistics include 21 sergeants of police promoted, 31 corporals of police were promoted, 49 acting appointments across various policing ranks, 15 non-commissioned officers promoted within the SVG Coast Guard, 174 total personnel promoted or confirmed across all services of the RSVG-PF. These promotions represent a combination of confirmations in acting roles and new advancements based on merit, experience, and service to the country. Speaking at the Sunset Parade, Commissioner Williams reminded officers that law enforcement in a democratic society carries a profound responsibility. He emphasized the values of discipline, restraint, and professionalism, and acknowledged the Vincentian public's expectations for law enforcement to act with integrity, tact, and sound judgment. The RSVG Police Force, alongside the SVG Coast Guard and Fire Brigade, form the backbone of the SVG Internal Security and Emergency Response System. Meanwhile, this afternoon, the RSVG Police Force held the passing out parade of the 42nd cohort of police recruits at the Honnesville Sports Complex. In other news, the opposition New Democratic Party NDP candidate for South Central Windward, Israel Bruce, has reaffirmed his party's commitment to agriculture, declaring that agriculture is the foundation of SVG, during remarks at a village meeting held in the Mariquah constituency last night. Bruce highlighted the historical importance of the Mariquah Valley, often referred to as the bread basket of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, noting its long-standing role in sustaining families and ensuring national food security through its agricultural productivity.
This Mariquah Valley that has been known as the bread basket of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That's right. This constituency was built on farming. It is the lifeblood of families, villages, and communities that stretch from Belmont to Korea, from Ivision to Richland Park and Mesopotamia itself.
Speaking to a gathering of constituents and supporters, Bruce called for a renewed focus on agriculture as a pillar of economic development. He noted that the New Democratic Party, NDP, is committed to restoring the sector's performance, promising that agriculture will once again become a key driver of national progress under an NDP government.
We are going to build a future that is guided by 4 pillars of economic development. Sister Louise pointed to you. Agriculture, the blue economy, tourism, and the new economy. These pillars, my friends, are the foundation of the New Democratic Party's vision for national development. And they are deeply connected to the lives and livelihood of the people of Richland Park and Mariquah.
Also pointing to the current challenges facing the sector, including a lack of modern infrastructure, inadequate support for small farmers, and declining youth participation. He emphasized that addressing these issues is essential to building a resilient, self-sustaining economy.
Agriculture, the backbone. This is the starting point because agriculture is regarded as the heartbeat of Mariquah. The very reason it earned its name, the breadbasket of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, well then was. So my friends, agriculture to us in the New Democratic Party is not just another sector. It is the foundation for food security, our rural economy, and our national pride.
The NDP candidate outlined a vision that includes investment in agri-tech training for youth farmers and stronger linkages between agriculture and other sectors like tourism and manufacturing. He said these steps would help to make farming more viable and attractive for the next generation. Bruce's remarks come as political parties gear up for the next general election, with agriculture emerging as a key issue amid rising concerns about food security, unemployment, and rural development. Social worker and counselor Roselle Solomon is calling for mental health to be treated with the same urgency and seriousness as physical health. Speaking on NBC Radio's face-to-face program this morning, Solomon emphasized that maintaining mental well-being is a shared responsibility, not only one that individuals should bear alone.
So no man is an island. We cannot do this as an individual, as a Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment. We cannot do it by ourselves. Right. At the center of everything is us coming together in our individual spaces for us to see the gaps, right, and to develop programs, advocate, etc., for those voices that aren't heard on a normal day, whose voices are diminished, whose their own capacity as a human being is pressured. So wherever we are, whether it's at the workplace, at NBC Radio, at the banks, in sporting arenas, in the ministries, we are amplifying our voices that whatever you do, make sure you take care of people's mental health.
Solomon also reminded listeners that life challenges are inevitable, but individuals must never take their mental health for granted. She described mental health as a state of well-being that affects how we think, feel, and interact with others.
You know what I mean? Life is challenging. And as was mentioned earlier this week, let's not take for granted the indirect shocks that people are facing. We are witnessing via our phones, or we are seeing articles about gun violence, etc. Let's not take those things for granted, because it impacts us on some level, our safety, our security, etc. And us feeling as if we are in a state of, I don't know what's going to happen. Let's not take our mental health for granted. Mental health is not a mental illness. It's a state of well-being. Right. It's a state of how you're managing your feelings, how you're thinking, and how your environment impacts you.
In recognition of World Mental Health Day, which will be observed on October 10th, Solomon announced a week of planned activities aimed at raising awareness and reducing stigma around mental health. The week will begin with a church service on Sunday, October 5th, and conclude with a community walk on Saturday, October 11th.
On Monday, I think it's fun day. We're going to be running up and down, having a good time, because we want individuals to see that they are not just individuals who are admitted. We have stellar athletes that are at the Mental Health Rehabilitation Center, and so we want to showcase other things than what people see the label of being mentally ill. On Tuesday, we have a very big activity that we are passionate about. It's our call to action. As mentioned, we want communities to come together. We are bringing together agencies, ministries, individuals, etc., who we wish to have on board as we, again, advance mental health. On the Wednesday, it's a down day, I think. We are just making sure that we are talking more about mental health. We have done an API recording, so look out for that. On Thursday, we have our Family Day, where we encourage family to come forward, to sit with our patients, to interact, because we need people to connect with their families, that they still have individuals who are supporting them, etc. Friday is Mental Health Awareness Day. We'll be back here with you our colleagues, Dr. Matthews and Mrs. Ned Noel will be here on Friday just to give more information and just to give you highlights of what we have achieved in that week.
The social worker noted that the activities are designed to educate, engage, and empower Vincentians to prioritize their mental well-being while fostering a more open and compassionate national conversation around mental health. A National Day of Prayer will be observed in St. Vincent and the Grenadines on Monday, 6th October 2025, under the theme Standing Together in Faith. The Ministry of Education, National Reconciliation, in collaboration with the National Day of Prayer Committee, will organize the following activities to mark the day: workplace devotions, school devotion, prayer visits to state institutions such as hospitals and prisons, with interactive on-air prayers via radio. The general public is invited to participate in these activities.